Hello, everyone. It's Russ here from the Morrison Mortgage team, and I hope you're having a wonderful summer. Um, as I've been doing in the past, as we've been giving you videos just a day or two after the rate cut or even the Bank of Canada announcement. And as many of you know, is we had another Bank of Canada rate adjustment or rate drop, which is welcome here in Canada, of course. The Bank of Canada dropped its rate, its overnight rate, by a quarter point. So that means that in the past couple months here, we've gone from a prime rate of 7.2 and it's now down by half a point to 6.7. So that helps all the variable rate holders out there, of course. It helps out anyone that's on like a variable rate or floating type loan or mortgage. Now, what I've been doing is in the past I've been following a bunch of the stuff, and we have a track record of it in previous videos. And I've been saying that ideally, what the Bank of Canada wants to do to curb inflation is they need a whole bunch of things to start happening. It took a good couple of years for these rate increases to really hit the economy, and it looks as though now that it is starting to have that effect on the economy. It's starting to kind of bring inflation down, and unemployment's going up. But we'll run through that here now. But here's just a quick update for you. Is we are expecting more. It's Macklem's, Bank of Canada has now shifted from, there could be more rate cuts to expect, it's reasonable to expect more rate cuts. So what that means here is that expect more rate cuts. And when I watch this and we gauge this is the overnight rate, which it was 5%. And for us civilians, as I call it, is the prime rate was 7.2. So there's that markup on this amount of about 2.2%. So in June, we saw a quarter point decrease, another one in July. We may see it just hold in September, or it could drop. They may take just a break there. But this is an overall kind of idea of what to anticipate. Is a 1% drop this year, and then next year another 1%, and then potentially more depending on how things go. So the recent Bank of, I pulled this up this morning, and it's interesting to see is that this rate tightening cycle has been quite a shock to our system. Of course, as you see here, it bumped up, extremely high. In the past, these are rate tightening cycles to curb inflation in the past. And you can see that after each one, there's quite a quick decline. Now, I'm not saying there's going to be a quick decline on this one. It really depends on how the economy responds and how things go. But you can see here, it's common up, down, up, down. So we are anticipating these things. We are in a downward cycle now. Okay. Now, what that means is that there's certain strategies out there that I'll go through in just a minute as well that we may want to consider. Is if you're in a variable, stay in a variable is what I'm doing personally. Because the latest rate cuts means it's time to stop. I mean, I know we've all been beaten up a lot about these variable rate mortgages, but as the rates begin to fall, it's going to get better. And I'll go through that a little bit more in a second. The inflation rate is continually trending down. And we look at this here, the forecast, they say maybe it's going to pop up. This is the forecast, but it's going to continually, ideally, is going to go down. As the rates come down, we will be within that 2% target range. Now, it's interesting is here, these are bond yields. These are, the most trendy products right now is either a 3-year fixed or a 5-year variable. I like the variable, and I'll show you that in just a second. But it's been like a roller coaster. So you look at the past 3 months, here's the rate drop, and these are bond yields. So up here, maybe a 3-year fixed rate is 5.25. And then all of a sudden, we have the rate drop, and the bond yields respond. Okay. So what happens is we have rate drop, bond yields fall, rates fall, 3-year fixed rates drop. Then we see them drop more. And then we see inflation pop up a little bit here. Then all of a sudden employment goes up, and then it begins to fall. Then we are basically at this point, we have a rate cut. So these bond yields, as the fixed rates, as the Bank of Canada prime rate continues to fall, these will continue to fall as well. So strategically, is what we can do is you can place yourself in a variable if you're not already in a variable, and then lock in later, or just stick with the variable. Now, one thing here is the unemployment rate is continuing to go up. I hate seeing this stuff here because it means there's a lot of people out there that are losing their jobs and that sort of thing. So also here is what I'll show you is basically I'm just using Scotiabank as an example, but let's just say today A 3-year fixed is around 4.99, and this will eventually go down as the bond yields fall. If we compare that to a 5-year variable rate mortgage, and I'm just going to say we can get that for about 0.75, and I've coordinated all of these potential rate drops, expected rate drops per se, into here, into the prime rate falling. You can see in here is with this here is that your as the rates fall, your payments will fall as well. So they will get closer to these payments on the fixed rate mortgage, which start out to be roughly about $26.65. Now, when you look at this over the next 3 years, is you're looking at saving money with the variable, but it gives you more flexibility. So just one thing to consider, and I'm showing clients right now, is do we go fixed or do we go variable? You can always go variable, sit in the variable, and then lock into a fixed rate later on as the bond yields come down. So that's pretty much where we sit right now. So if you have any questions on any of these items, please let me know. Please reach out. If you're coming up for renewal, there are certain ways that we can handle things for you. We're going to be dealing with payment shock. If you're looking at getting into the market now, and now that I've had more clients reach out, say, look, I kind of been sitting on my hands for quite a while. I want to get back into the market. I want to move and stuff. So these are things that we can do to help you plan and that sort of thing. But things are headed in the right direction. I'll continue to keep you updated on this. Enjoy your summer. Please reach out if you need anything, and keep well. Thanks. Bye for now.